Hi, Leos. Welcome to the Sunflower Path. My name is Jess. I'm going to be looking at Mercury Retrograde and how it affects the Leo sign, as it will begin in Sagittarius and end in Scorpio. So I'll be going at first through the fifth house and then through the fourth house. So, as it's in your fifth house, you're going to be reassessing your hobbies, your passions, your relationships with children may change or become more exhausting. I'm thinking of some of you guys may be teachers because Mercury retrograde is about shakeups in our foundations and things that may come off as odd in our communication styles or how things are being communicated to us. Travel and technology may be iffy. Exes or old friends may return or visit our social media. And because it's going to be happening during the US holidays, I think it's Thanksgiving, because it's from November 9th to November 29th. Just to avoid any awkward or heated debates and like plan for delays. And it's not the best time for contracts either. And because it's first happening in the fifth house, the likelihood of exes and old friends coming back is high because the fifth house governs romance. So just be aware of that. And then it ends in the fourth house. So we're going to be looking at how it impacts the home life, the emotional foundations, real estate, in case any of you guys have bought a new house or just moved, changed homes, and the relations with family, especially as the holidays come around. So I'll look at what you need to revisit during the Mercury retrograde, what needs to be released, what unknown factors you need to be aware of. Oh, almost. Two major cards. Okay. So we'll start with the first three. This lighting. I'll leave that there because there's like a bit light here. Okay. So looking at what you need to revisit during Mercury retrograde, and that's strength, which is interesting to me because that is associated with Leo. So we're going to be looking at our compassion, our passions. That is also fifth house. So it's fascinating that came up. We're going to be reassessing our relationships with others, our relationships with children, whether or not we want kids, or if you already have children or work with children, you might reassess what kind of dynamic you want with them, if you need more rules in place or not, and how we want to communicate with them. And that goes towards partnerships as well. And if you want to get, like, maybe return to certain hobbies that you hadn't done in a long time, like say if some of you were very creative and into writing or art, you might go back to music that you haven't listened to in a while. So things that you will probably revisit are some of those things. And then what needs to be released is this imprints. And I think that's interesting because that's all about motherhood and fertility and creativity, but it's also like really big ideas that need to be released. So as an empress that needs to be released, I'm wondering if it's just certain aspects of motherhood that need to be released or certain ideas of motherhood that need to be released. There's, I'm thinking of transformation here because of all the butterflies here. Um, Abundance. There might have been like a successful completion of a creative project, a period of pregnancy, or a new beginning that you just started and that requires like care and patience and love. So that might have reached its conclusion and be ready for delivery. Like you may be ready to present that creative project, whether it be to your boss or to your partner. It's a time of like material abundance as well that was created in the past through really hard effort and determination. So it's kind of like a harvest. You're reaping what you sowed in the past, and now you need to release it so you can start on something else. But it's not like a sad release per se. It's more like this has come to fruition. You put all this work and this love and this care into it, and now you can enjoy it. So you may enjoy all the attention that you're getting, all these creative projects that you've been working really hard on, and now you can just thrive in it. So it's time, right? Like it's right now. Like you can let it go to begin on a new project, which is why I'm thinking of transformations because of the butterflies here, and there's like they're in a circle. So there's been a completion of whatever projects you've been working on. And with the three of wands here, what are unknown factors that you need to be aware of? That's all future looking. I'm trying to get this out of the light. Um, there's a new and like exciting cycle of expansion coming about. You're about to grow and you're about to grow big. Kind of like what you do in pregnancy, right? You kind of just grow within those 9 months. um, but whatever you've been working on, it's gonna expand. Like this is usually a sign of travels abroad or things growing abroad. Maybe your work will be recognized on a very public forum. Like the initial groundwork has been done. So you can look forward towards like big future opportunities beyond where you live or wherever you are. Because that's growth, like exploration, unexplored territory. And you're going to be very confident about it. I feel like this is going to be, I mean, Mercury retrogrades are, uh, what's the word? Like they test you, but I think we're going to enjoy it for the most part. So let's see what precautions you can take then. Sometimes I think the cards have a sense of humor. Okay. So the precautions that you can take is the star reverse. And the reason I thought or I said that the cards have a sense of humor because this is Leo, and the sister sign of Leo is Aquarius, which is associated with the star. So I just thought it was funny that they would show up in the same reading. But the star reversed as precautions. So protect against self doubt. Don't be so hard on yourself because we all have an inner critic that can be the worst over people. We may not want to speak up because my voice is starting to feel itchy. So I'm wondering if there aren't any Leos out there who are preferring to stay quiet against their inner critic or other people who are criticizing them. So, precautions against hopelessness, self doubt, feeling uninspired or disconnected from people and your goals, or maybe many of you have felt like you've been out of touch with your true self because of everything that's happening in your life right now. Or you've been giving so much to your projects and to your passions that you've kind of burnt yourself out, and perhaps that's what needs perhaps what needs a rest, because this is the 10 of Pentacles and that's usually financial. Goodness, as a that's wealth. So the things that need rest, it's probably telling you need deep relaxation after achieving so much so you don't burn out. This could be your need to connect with family after being gone for so long, because that again could be you moving abroad, or not even abroad. Like, I'm not saying you have to change countries, or maybe you moved from one city to another, especially since this is starting in our 5th house and moving into our 4th house. So maybe there's a need to connect with your family members again. Maybe you haven't reached out in a while or hung out with them in a while. Appreciate your blessings, and you can rest without feeling guilty, because I know society tends to push like this hustle culture. So taking breaks and self-care and self-love practices may need to make a return after or during this Mercury retrograde. Yeah, maybe focus on the commitment too, because if you're creating a family, maybe a return to your spouse or your partner. Hello, birds. Yeah, that might be a group of people who want to communicate with you, and it's been a minute because you've been so focused on your passions and your creative projects. Or if you have been pregnant, you've been growing a whole human inside of you. So it might be time to connect with those family members, introduce the baby to the family. And for those who are not pregnant, maybe you've been focusing so much on your goals and your creative projects and your passions that you kind of left them alone for a bit, so you can focus on you and what you want to make out of your life and your creativity, your artwork. So reconnecting with a spouse, reconnecting with family, relax, appreciate your blessings is what it's saying during the Mercury retrograde. Because again, Mercury retrograde is from November 9th to November 29th. So if you're somewhere in the world where you celebrate Thanksgiving, that's usually a time to reconnect with family. So please do. What will keep you in balance? The Page of Wands, which I think is funny because the Page of Wands is usually a call to your hobbies and passions because she's, if you can't see right there, she is playing a violin. So again, something creative, um, dealing with music and the arts. Hmm. How you can use that to keep you in balance? Well, it might be like focused action. Like usually this is an enthusiastic beginning of a new project, but if this is something that's supposed to keep in balance, don't become too scattered or unfocused. You can keep that fire of inspiration, but keep it balanced with practical planning and like sustained effort rather than having an idea but not knowing how to apply that idea. I can get like that because I have so many ideas that I want to do, but not really take the action to let those ideas come to life. Because I'm more of an ideas person myself. Be mindful of the opportunities. Not don't get too carried away by your excitement to the point of becoming like overconfident. And so just it I think it's asking, because this is saying what will keep you in balance is to be balanced. um it's to navigate your confidence and your enthusiasm with practical action. Like this is your idea, but this is what you can actually do. So I'm going to pull out your oracle to see what else could be said during your Mercury retrograde. Singularity. You are your own sun, moon, and stars, which is hilarious. Your sun, your sun. Oh, sorry, that's strength. But stars did come out. But you, well, Leos are also ruled by the sun, so interesting. You are your own sun, moon, and stars, and I feel like you could run everything on your own sometimes, since Leos are great leaders. They can have so much charisma and a wild sense of humor. Oh, and underneath it's expand. So growth is often uncomfortable and messy, but necessary. So maybe again, you're expanding something, you're exploring the unknown during this Mercury retrograde. Maybe you're expanding your family, maybe you're expanding a house, um, maybe you're exploring new cities, maybe you're traveling, maybe you're trying out new art styles. Whatever expands and really feeds into your passions. Pride. Oh, Leo is in their pride. I think of a lion pride for that though. I am not going to pronounce those correctly. Hopefully the camera will catch that. There we go. But pride. Taking pride in one's journey is an integral part of self-growth. Attach positive feelings to what you're doing, whatever it may be. When you feel good about something, you will want to do it better. Doing a job well will lead you to taking more pleasure in what you do and who you are. Even when you don't like what you are doing, do it well, as that can also bring you pride. This card is also a reminder to delight in what you have already accomplished. Enjoy and celebrate your victories. I wish I was making this up, but here we are. Share them with someone who will be proud and excited with you. Do whatever you do to the best of your abilities as the finest of who you are. When you know you did your best, pride will follow. So ask yourself, what do I take pride in? And how can I cultivate more pride in what I am doing right now? And that's an awesome message for Leo. So I hope this resonated with you. I feel like Leos are often the hype person for everyone. So I hope this resonated. And if it did, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Take care.